Good day, viewers. You are welcome back to my channel as Success Teaches. Thank you all for subscribing to my channel, and for those of you that are yet to subscribe, please click on the subscription button and also at the red notification bell so that you can get notified whenever I post a new video. So today I'll be working on this project. Is the trendy curved corset. You've been seeing it everywhere, so I'm just going to show you how to cut it. There are many methods how to cut it, so I will be showing you one of the ways to cut it. So I have my tools here. I have my breast cuff, I have my scissors, I have my hammer core, and my hip and neck ruler. And this dress, I'll be making it as a 3/4 gown, but it will be having an half length at the waistline. So that is the that is the place I'll be drafting on this pattern. That is the waistline measurement. So let's get started. The measurement I'm going to be using, the under bust I'll be using is 14 inches. Please mind you, if you are doing this curved corset, your under bust has to sit under your breast very well. What I mean is that when you are measuring it on your client, you have to put your tape rule. When you are getting your under bust measurement, you make sure it goes in well, so that by the time the person wears it, by the time they wear it, it will be able to sit inside under the breast. And the next thing is my nipple point is 10 inches. Nipple point is 10 inches. My nipple to nipple is 8 inches. And the waistline measurement I'll be using is 20 inches. That is my navel point. I'm not stopping at the upper waist, I'm stopping at the navel point. And the full length of the blouse, the dress, is 48. So I'm using, let me come again with my measurements. Nipple point 10, and the nipple to nipple, which is the nipple radius, that is 8 inches. And the under bust is 14 inches. My waistline, that is the navel point that I'll be using, is 20 inches, and the gown length is 48. And the bust circumference I'll be using is bust 40. The under bust circumference is 31, while the waistline circumference is 35. I'll be using hip 42 and shoulder 8. My shoulder is 16. So if I like this pattern paper is on foot, that will be 8. So let's proceed. So the first thing I'll be doing is drafting out the front pattern. So this is, you have to create your starting point. You can see this, my pattern paper is straight. If it's not straight, you have to make it straight. So the first thing is bringing out the length that I need. So my under bust length is 14. This is 14 inches here, 14 inches, and the waistline is 20 inches. 20 inches. I'm going to be adding my joining allowance. You can actually add it, or if your pattern paper does not reach, you can add it on your fabric, but I'm adding it here so that I will not forget when I'm transferring it to my fabric. I always tell us, if you are the type that always forget things, you should always add it when you are cutting it on the pattern paper. So this is my waist under bust, you abbreviate it, and this is my waistline. That is where I'm stopping. And my shoulder is 16, and 16 divided by 2, that will give me 8 inches. This is my 8 inches here. So if you look at that curved corset very well, you will see that the neck normally comes as a V-neck, though there is one I saw online that is like a canoe neck, but this one I'm cutting for us is a V-neck shape. So the V-neck shape, it doesn't have to be choked. So I'm making the V-neck. I'm using 4 inches width. So this is my 4 inches width here. So for the neck depth, I'll be coming down by 7 inches. It depends on the way you want your neck to come down, but for me, I'll be using 7 inches for my neck. Though some people love it that it touched the down, but for this style I'll be using 7 inches. So you are going to create, so at this 7 inches, you know, in every corset, if you are doing a corset, there has to be a starting point here. that means the gap in between the two breasts, we normally put it here. So for this, I'll be coming in by half an inch. So I'm coming in by half an inch in this place, and you know that this half an inch, when you open it up, it turns to 1 inch because the pattern paper is on fold. So this half an inch here, I come in by half an inch. So I'm going to join the neck, the v-neck. I'm going to join it to this neck depth here like this. So when you join it like this, the next thing is for me to create my shoulder slope. My shoulder slope is 1 inch. So I'm going to create my shoulder slope like this. So my armhole length, and you know the way we calculate our armhole, that would be bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. So this one will be giving me 6.5 plus 1.5, that will be 8 inches. How to get your perfect armhole length? Bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. So I'll create my line here. So the next thing for me is to create my nipple to nipple measurement, so which is 4 inches. So this is nipple to nipple measurement of 4 inches. I'm measuring the 4 inches from the under bust to the waistline. So this is my 4 inches. I'll rule it. So at the under bust here, I'm going to, this is my nipple. So let me measure the nipple point. This is the nipple point here. So I'll take it up like this. So at the under bust here, I'm going to come in by like creating a dart at the under bust. So I'm going to come in by 1 in this side and 1 on the other side too. So I'm going to take it down. If it's a long one that is, I'm cutting it to the down, I may slant my hand, but I don't want it to budge here. So I'm going to come down by 1 here. So, and I'll connect it to the nipple point. So this is it this way. So the next thing for me, for this curved corset, I'm going to start with taking my basic bodice measurements now. So, and I told you I'll be using bust 40, which is 40 divided by 4. You know, we divide our measurement by 4. That is 10 inches. So this is my 10 inches here. And my inseam allowance of, because it's a dress, I don't want to use much. I'm using 1.5 inches. At the under bust here, whatever you bring out here, this is 2 inches. Mind you, if I'm doing for a very busty person, I may come in by 1.5 here, 1.5 here, because I want the effect to show. But for me, it's okay like this. So this is 2 inches here. And my under bust is 31. And that 31 divided by 4 will give me 7.75. That is 7.75. 7.75 plus whatever it is here, which is 2 inches. I'll return the 2 inches. That will be 9.75. I'll mark it. An inseam of 1.5. This is my inseam of 1.5. And also at the waistline here, I have 34 as my waistline measurement. And 34 divided by 4, that will give me 8.5. That is 8.5. So 8.5 plus 2, that will be 10.5. Mind you, you can see I'm not putting joining allowance. I will add that one when I'm cutting it on my fabric. And the inseam is 1.5. So the next thing is for me to connect all the measurements together. I'm connecting the measurement together now. So this is my measurement. So after measuring it like this, for the curved corset, sometimes you will see some, they will draw it like this and make the another fabric. Some people use another fabric here and another fabric at the upper side. So but now I'm going to be coming in. For me, I'm not letting it to be too much at the up. I'm going to come in by 1 inch at this under the bust here. I'm going to come up, sorry, I will come up by 1 inch here. So I will use my curved ruler to connect it. I'm using my breast curve to connect it here. Firstly, to connect it from here, from this gap that is here. This one will be the one that will go into the under bust like this. So I'll use it to connect to the under bust. You can see that it's bringing out the shape already. So for this other side, I've used my ruler to connect it. But it won't go as a straight, it will go as a curve. So this is where I'll connect it to. But mind you, some people, you can connect it like this. So another fabric will be showing. But for me, I want the plain to be much. And the reason why you come up by 1 inch here, so this is not what I'll cutting, this is what I'll be cutting. The reason why you come up is that when you want to sew this place, it won't affect your under bust. That means you will sew out of this place. By that time, it will make it to sit into your under bust. And for the armhole, I divide it by 2, that is 4. So I'll use my armhole curve to bring out my armhole shape there. So this is it for the front. So this is my middle here. So when you want to sew it, this is where you will join it to, and this is the dart that we are cutting out. So let me explain it again so that you can understand it. My under bust, my nipple point. For this middle, you come in by 1/2 inch, or depending on how you want the gap to open, you come in and curved it to under the, to where you take the that measurement. The neck width, the neck should not be too choked, because for the effect, for the beauty of the dress to come out. And for here, I come in from under the bust, I come up by, we can come up by 1 or 1.5. So this place that I cut now, and you cut it and slant it and join it to this place that I cut now, I'm going to use it to cut out, because we'll be using a slash and spread method. But before then, let me bring it out first, and we are going to use it and draft the back pattern. So I'm through cutting out the pattern now. You can see this is the front pattern. You can see after drafting it, and this is the upper part that I cut. You see it when I put it like this. You see the neck. So for this, so this upper part, I have to cut it, because the pattern, I'm using a singular pattern here, but you have to be on fold. So I have to cut 2. You need to cut 2 of it, because you are going to slash and spread 1. So 1 will be your guideline for what will be your end result. So I'm placing that one here. Even without sewing it, you can see the beauty of the dress is coming out already. So the next thing for us, I'm removing the tape. I just want to show you how the effect will come out. That's why I put the tape. So this is the down side. So for the upper part here, I'm going to be using my slash and spread method. The slash and spread method, I'll be opening it by 1 inch. So let me create my starting point here, which is on the nipple point. So you'll be marking 1 inch gap. I'll be marking my line. Don't mind my marker. So this is it. So you'll be creating that straight line on it. So here you can see what I'm doing by creating the line. So for this line that I'm creating, if you look at this curved corset, we have different ways of doing it. There are some, it will be excess at the shoulder, and also you know that what we are doing now, by the time we slash and spread it, it makes it more bigger. So for the shoulder side too, if you want it to be excess, that means you are going to put pleats on the shoulder. You are going to put extra too here. So the next thing for us is to slash it, but I won't slash it finish so that I won't mistake it. So at the shoulder side here, I'm going to the shoulder now. If you want it to have pleats at the shoulder, you will cut it finish. You cut it and open the shoulder. But if you don't want the shoulder to have pleats, you will not cut it finish at the shoulder. Try and understand that side. If you cut it finish at the shoulder, it will be much excess. That means the shoulder will have pleats. And it's not compulsory it has pleats. If it does not have pleats, no problem. But if you don't want it to have pleats, don't open up the shoulder. Once you have opened up the shoulder, automatically it's getting bigger. So I'm slashing it like this. So this is what they call the slash and spread method. Once I'm through with my slashing, I'm going to place it on another fresh pattern paper. This is it like this. So we are going to spread it on another pattern paper. So this is the pattern paper I'll be using to spread it. So now I'll be placing it on the pattern paper like this. Because I don't want it to have excess at the shoulder, that is why I did not cut the shoulder. But if you want it to have, you will cut it finish. So this is my own. How do you want to spread it? Do you want to spread it just with an ½ inch in between? Whatever will be your spreading has to equal on every side. So I'm starting from here, which is the next side. So you use your paper tape to hold it down. So the next one, I don't want it to be too much because I am not that busty. This curved corset, when you do it much, it's for those people that are having bigger breasts. It normally comes out well, but for somebody like me that I'm not too busty, it will just be too full on me. So you can see the gap I'm creating in between. So let me measure the gap. This is just 3/4 here, 3/4, that is 0.75. It's not up to 1 inch that I'm putting, and I'm not putting it on the shoulder. That's why I'm not opening up the shoulder. So I'm still going so that is how you are going to spread it. So this one is bigger. You can see I'm doing it on a fresh pattern paper before I will now transfer it to my material. So for this one, it won't be too big for me. So this is the last one. So at the armhole here, you can see I use it to hold it down. and at the shoulder also. But if I want my shoulder to also have pleats excess, I will put it, but for this one I won't put. So the next thing for you is to create an half an inch that we use to join it to the body. So this marker is not showing again. So that is what I will use it to join it at the underbust. You know that is the actual underbust that we measure. So I'm going to put half an inch there to join it right round. You are going to put half an inch joining right round. So this is what you are going to cut out on the fresh pattern paper. So I'm starting from the next side now. This is the shoulder, the armhole, and the down. Don't forget that you need to cut 2 of this front so that you use the second one as your guideline. So I'm through with the slash and spread method. You can see what I have here. This will be the new measurements. But if you look at this neck, I purposely turn it to the back for you to look at the neck. You know, this is the neck side, this is the armhole side. If you turn it like this, it looks the same. So for you not to make mistake, you will notch the upper part like this of the armhole, because it looks the same, so that you don't go and put your dress like this. It will not go and affect your measurement. So this is what we are going to use to cut out the fabric. And by the time we are putting it like this, this is the downside. By the time we use our gathers to hold it, everything will balance. So for this, if you are making it to have a lining, you will cut 4 of these. That means you turn each part, each side will be 2. But this one, the material I'm using, this is the fabric I'm using, is a bit thick, so I don't need to line in it, but I'm just going to use to turn the neck side. And if you look at this fabric that I'm using, it has a plain and pattern design. So this one will be the body, the design area will be the bodies, the down bodies, and this cupped area I'll be using the plain side, which is the red inside. I'll be using it for it. So now I'm going to cut it out on my clothes. So for the back, I've already drafted out my basic bodies for the back. I told you, be familiar with your basic bodies measurement. This is my back pattern. For the back here, this basic bodies is a high neck, but for the back of my own, I will not need the high neck measurement. So I'm going to come down. The neck is 4, the width is 4 inches. So I'll be coming down. The depth, I'll be using 7 inches also. So you can make the down round, you can make it V. So I'll be using V for my own. This is my back bodies. This is the zipper allowance, and this is my bust measurement, my under bust measurement, and my waistline. I already have my basic bodies for back at hand. So the same length. The length I used for the front was 20. You can see it's 20 I have here also. This one you don't need for the shoulder to come down. So this is my back. For the back, this is the back now. My bust, my under bust, and my waistline. So this is what I'll be transferring to my fabric. So let's transfer it to the fabric. So for this one, I've told you that you are going to place the new one, place it on your fabric. So this is my fabric, but I'll be cutting only 2 like this. If it will have lining, I'll be cutting 4. So this is my pattern, my cloth scissors. This is the pattern one I was using before. So this is the armhole side. So like I told you, you notch the shoulder and get the middle. You get it through here. This is the middle here, where the dart comes in. So with that, the downside, this is the downside. I'm using this one to cut the back so that I won't waste the fabric. As you can see, I've already cut out my fabric. This is the fabric here, the down part. I told you you had half an inch for joining. This is it here, and also here also. And this is the upper part, which is the excess one that we did slash and spread. And I told you that the way I'm going to be placing it, the pattern will not be showing outside at the upper part. It is the plain that will be showing, and the down one, this is it. This is my back pattern here. This is the back with zipper allowance. Everything is there. So I'll be using a bias to tape the neck here. So the next thing for us is to take it to the machine. I'll show you and I'll sew it.
Action.
So I want to show us the down parts before I go to the machine so that we can do everything once. And I told you the half length. I've removed the half length, so the remaining length will be 28. The full gown will be 28. I've measured it, and the bending of the down is 3 inches. I'm using 3 inches there. The down is going to be like a straight, a pencil down. I told you it's a 3/4 gown. So for the hip line, so this is my hip line here. You know it's down. So the waist circumference that we used down here is 34. That is 8.5. 34 here. And my inseam, you know I used 1.5 for the upper part also. So the hip is 42. That is 42 divided by 4 is 10.5. And my inseam allowance of 1.5, we connect it. So the down, I want you to bring pencil very well. So I'll be using 9 inches. I'll deduct 1.5 from the hip measurement. The hip divided by 4, that is 10.5. I'll deduct 1.5 from here so that the down will come as a pencil, and I will take my 9 inches and inseam allowance. So I'll connect it to the, you can connect it with your curve driller, but I love using freehand. So this is the down part like this. I just want to show us, for like if you want to cut a straight pencil skirt, this is it. If you look at this back here, I have a lot of gap here. This is for the lapping of the back. You know, it's a pencil gown, so you need a lapping at the back so that it won't tear. So my zip allowance, I created my zip allowance, but if you look at this zipper allowance, it's too much for the upper side so that it won't be dragging your skirt. So I reduce it to 2 inches here at the upper part only. So this is the way I'm going to cut it out so that it won't be too much on the waist side. So this is it here. So this is the down part of the gown now. So this my bending, I notched it, and I'm going to open the slit by 8 inches. That will come before the bending, so you don't calculate the bending with it. So this is the, and the sleeve, that was why I want to show you everything before going to the machine. The sleeve, I'm going to be doing a bell sleeve. I'm going to be doing a bell sleeve there. So this is what my sleeve will look like. You know, it's just a straight pencil gown, so the sleeve need to speak. So this is the sleeve. I'm going to do it like this, as if you bend a shape. So this will be my upper part, which is the armhole side. If you want it pleated, it has to come down very well. So though I don't want it too much pleated, so the sleeve length, whatever the sleeve length, you have to add excess to it. The reason why you need to add excess is because if there is pleating, it will rise up at the up, so that your sleeve will not be too short. So this is what I use now. I use 29, and my normal sleeve length is 24, but I use 29 because by the time I pleat this place, you know that by the time you pleat this place like this, at least, let me measure it for you now, it will go up. You can see it's coming back to 27. That is how it will be going down. So this is the sleeve I will be using for it. You might put an elastic rubber at the tip of the sleeve, and you might leave it like this, whichever way. So this is my sleeve here. You can see the sleeve. This is it here. So I'm through with everything, so I'll go to the machine. I don't want to be going and coming back. That's why I cut everything once. So these are what we make, and I'll show you. Guys, I'm already on the machine now. I want to show you. This is the center front, this is the side, and this is the curved area. We have cut it out. So at times you can see this fabric I'm using, it doesn't sew straight, so you need to get, for me, some people use paper, I use candle. So when you put candle on the sewing line, it will make it to go straight. So I'll be joining it by half an inch to the down. That's the kind of material I'm sewing it. It doesn't sew on its own. You have to put something to sew on it. So the other side too, I'll join it by half an inch. So that's why you see me putting candle for it to sew. So I've joined the two sides together. I'm going to open it up with my iron. So before the iron gets hot, this is the next side of this place. You can be using your pattern to get it so that you won't make mistake. This is the next side, which I'm going to be taping. And I told you, for this next side, I'll be using the plain side for the upper parts, so the design will go inside. That means the design area will be the inside in this one. So I want to tape the neck now. So I notch the neck. I'm going to use it to tape it inside. So this is how the neck will look like. So I'm through with one side like this. You can see the way I turn the neck. I'll do it to the other side too. But before then, I want to show you how we put your temporary stitch. So from here, I change the machine to, you can call it gathers or running stitch. I'm going to use it to do this place. Sorry. So you can't join it. You just have to lose the first one that you are doing. When you are doing a temporary stitch or a running stitch, you can't join it. So you just have to be drawing it gently, because that is what we use to draw the gathers. But if you see that drawing a gathers will give you easy, there are some machines that cannot draw gathers very well. You can pleat it. So this is it like this. I'm going to draw it. This is what I'm going to do there. So this is what they call gathers. I'm showing you so that it's the same thing I'll do on the other side too, before joining it to the down. So this is the one that I will use as my guideline to check whether it's okay, the length. So by the time I want to place it, so this is one side like this. You can see what I did here. You can see the gathers. I'm still going to take it down more or reduce by the time I'm through with the down. So let me do the other side so that I can show you how to put it. This is the upper part like this. Guys, I've already done the gathers on both sides. You can see it. If it's too much, I will still open it up small. So the next thing, I've joined this place and I've bent the up side of here because it doesn't have lining. So I've bent it at the upper side. So I'm trying to trim this place to be neat. So I will have to put it like this. So when I want to put it, I'll start from this up. And you know the kind of fabric we are using, that's why I'm putting the candle. So the next thing for me is to be rolling it to it. The excess that is there, so it will stop at this place. You can see. So the excess will be under the bust. So that's where I'm putting the gathers. At the tip of the gathers, I make the extra rope long so that you can see something to draw it. So this is one side. I'm through with one side now. You can see our dress is coming out beautifully. You can see what I have. So if you like, you can top stitch this place like this, the down. So the other side too. I'm going to the other side. I'm starting from the other end, but I have to secure this place so that it won't be longer than each other. You can see the neck. You can see that the neck is coming out now. So I'm starting the other side from here, but because I don't want the neck to shift, that's on this other side too. That was why I first stitched this place down, so that it will not short. So as you can see, both sides are ready now. So this is what I have. You can see the neck. This is what I have here. So I'll be joining this to the downside for the front. You see the half length is 20. You see it there. So I'll be joining it to the front half remaining length. This is the downside. This is the midpoint of the down. So I'll be joining it to it. The material is stretchy, so if I don't do like this, so people will use paper, but once you iron it, all the candle will melt away. That's the nature of the fabric. So whatever the fabric is, you just have to. So you see the upper parts of the front. So I told you, you can actually top stitch this place like this, but because I have not weaved it, that's why I did not want to top stitch it. So for the back, this is the back, and this is the upper part of the back also. So since I've done the front, I'll do the back, I'll join the side. By the time I want to fix the sleeve, I'll come back and show us how to go with the sleeve. But this is the major style there, which is the curved corset. Because it takes a lot of time, that's why I don't want to show us everything, but I'm through with the joining of the sides. As you can see, the down, I've joined the upper part to the down. You can see it's a pencil gown here. This is the upper part, which is the curved corset. This is it here, the half length. This is the back here. So the next thing is to put the sleeve so that I can wear it on the mannequin to show us. And you see the middle, the half an inch that you put when you sew half remain half. This is the sleeve, the bell sleeve. I'm not using elastic rubber at the tip. I bend it round. So, and I've joined this place by 1 inch. I've joined this place. So I'm going to put it in the sleeve, in the armhole. You can actually put a rubber. When you put a rubber, it bounces like this. But it's not everybody that loves putting rubber. So the next thing is for me to put the sleeve, and I'll show you how to put the first sleeve because of the pleats. After this first one, I'll do the second one and show you the end results. And the sleeve has to be on top, the body is under, so that you know I've notched the middle of the sleeve and also the middle of the armhole, so that I'll know where to pleat. This is the middle of the armhole, the shoulder here. I'll know where to start my pleat and where to end it. So I'm putting a small pleat. So my pleat takes me, I took 4 pleats there. So I've done this side. I'm still proceeding. So by the time you are doing the pleating, you have to check whether it's equal with the, but you can see there is still a little excess, so it still contains 1 more pleat, and I'll sew it down. So I'm going to show you something that I did while I was sewing it. I'll show you on the other side. While I was doing this, there are pleats that are much than this. That means the bigger the sleeve, the more pleats it will have. So this is my sleeve, like this. As you can see the pleats, and this is the sleeve. And let me measure it now. What do I have? I told you my sleeve length is 24. You can see now I have 25. What if I did not cut the sleeve extra 5 inches? What will happen? It will shorten. I told you whenever you are doing pleating, it will rise up like this. So you need your sleeve to be longer than your normal measurement, so that at the end of the sewing the cloth, it will not jump. It will not be that your sleeve will be here, it will be able to go down. Hey, what I said I want to show us, if you look at the curved area, you can see that I put a dart here. It's a breast dart. I normally use it so that it will perfect, you know, there is no curve, there is no dart on the upper part. It will perfect this upper side. That's why I used to put it. And if you are coming, you make it stop on the nipple point before reaching the nipple point. So you might be wondering, what is this that I put? Because when I was doing this sleeve, this is it inside. So I have to put a breast dart so that you know that this one is excess, so that it can balance. That is what I just want to show you there. So guys, I'm through with the sewing of the sleeve, the everything. You can see the sleeve. You can see it's a bell sleeve. Look at what I'm talking about. See the beauty of the sleeve. You see it? When I wear it now, this is how it will bounce, because I told you the gown is straight already. So you need the sleeve to be able to speak volume. So look at the under bust. you can see the curved. There is a gathers here, look at it. So this is the v-neck. You know this mannequin is not wide like me, so this is the neck, this is the sleeve, and this is the back also. So thank you guys for staying tuned to the end of the video. If you have any question or suggestion, you can drop it in the comment section.